What a day. As you can see, I'm pretty tired. I haven't left the screens in quite a while, but the day in the life of a trader. All right, today was carnage again in these banks. Let's see, is my sound good? I think I'm good. More carnage, and all led by Silicon Valley Bank, which is actually all too fitting of a bank to start the contagion. The most interesting thing about today, I think, it wasn't interesting. We sold off. That definitely makes total sense. Maybe it could have surprised it's off too much. All right, let me focus up. To start, the Carl Icahn puts went to 117 today, so he's officially banking once again. I don't think he covered much. The volume in there is pretty sparse still. Looks like NASDAQ's just slowly leaking out after hours, which also makes, I guess, a little bit of sense. But all right, Icon puts 4x for now. We'll see how it goes. So the scariest part about today is that these really small random companies came out and said, we don't have any exposure to this, to Silicon Valley Bank, or we do, but it's micro. The silence from regulators and the silence from the mega banks, the Goldman, Jesus Christ, they're going to try to fuck me, aren't they? The Goldmans, the JP Morgans, Morgan Stanley, the regulators, the Fed, nobody of the big boys came out and said, hey, we're good. No need to worry about us. Yeah, they're just fucking leaking this thing again. No one came out to, put an end to the fear, and that's what drove it all day, was silence. The market likes clarity, and right now it's got zero clarity, so all it does is unwind every position that you have, blow everything up. It's the dumbest thing of all time to be silent about all this. And silence, I think in this case, might be deadly. I don't know how many of these banks make it through the weekend. Signature Bank was down 22%. First Republic was down 14%. Western Alliance Bancorp down 22%. So, for fuck's sake. Just that endless amount of contracts on the ask. Unbelievable. So all these big banks, the banks that can't fail, if they fail, we're all fucked. None of them came out and said much of anything, which is slightly terrifying. The Federal Reserve, Yellen came out, or Treasury came out and said, yeah, we had a big meeting with everybody, and we're confident in our regulators. You know who else said that? Hank Paulson in 2007, when Bear Stearns and Lehman were blowing up. We're confident in our regulators. Yeah, that doesn't help. I don't get it. The silence was an absolute wrecker today. And it makes no sense. I mean, if you guys are safe, come out and say you're safe. The silence means you're probably not safe. So this should be a hell of a weekend. Packed full of news and probably terrifying headlines. Goldman got absolutely smashed today, 4.5%, down $15. JP Morgan, oddly enough, green on the day. Jamie Dimon gonna buy every other bank out, become a monopoly in the financial industry. That'd be actually pretty funny. I wouldn't be surprised. But that's the part of today I just can't wrap my head around. It doesn't make any sense. Why be silent if you're okay? If you're not okay, then you stay silent and you don't have time to send a press release because you're scrambling. Bank came out right at the, and this one's kind of terrifying. Right at the bell. Thanks guys. Good job. Right at the bell, they Charles Schwab said they have exposure. Charles Schwab. Worst 2-day drop on record. They have exposure to all this. Charles Schwab's huge. It's really just not. This is not good. And what's interesting is that this is all. I mean, they're going to blame the banks for being dumb, but this is all just Charles Schwab. Is that it? Yeah, I don't fucking know. They're going to blame the banks for this, as they should. The banks, I mean, so you get a bank deposit. If I'm a bank and I get a deposit, I'm not just going to send cash. I'm just not going to put it under a mattress. I have to buy something, usually buy treasuries with it. And when the Fed has interest rates at 0 for 12 years, and then I have all these deposits, my bank is growing in popularity, I'm getting more and more deposits. I still have these long maturities at 1-2%. Then those are my reserves, and then obviously people pull money. If you need a little capital, you start selling those things off, raise the cash. What breaks this cycle is when the Fed jacks interest rates 5.25% over the course of 5 months. And then people go, well, why are my dollars sitting in a bank making 1% when I can buy a treasury that's now yielding 4% short term? 4%. So people slowly start pulling their money out and they start buying those treasuries, and then banks can't compete, and then it kind of turns into a snowball effect of a bank run. And if we're not fucking careful, we're about to be in one. Schwab, that's it. SCHW. Charles Schwab is $109 billion. They say risk comes at you fast, and it most certainly did today and yesterday. The VIX spiked 10% today. I think it was up even more earlier. I don't know, guys. Pretty fucking dire. I said this a couple of days ago on the first testimony of Powell, is that was the gloomiest hearing I've heard in a long time. The market held up, but for 2 days, and then this happened. And we're nowhere close out of the woods, and if these guys have to bail out banks again, and we're at $31 trillion in debt, I think you see where I'm getting at here. It's I think we're in a dire situation here, and I think they really fucked up, and it's terrifying. Obviously, I like when markets move around a shit ton because it makes for good opportunities to trade, but this is different. This isn't Apple misses by $1 and tanks the market 200 points. This is like a potential systematic failure. And I blame the Fed, and the Fed's not going to blame themselves, and no politician is going to blame the Fed. They created this. by a decade and change of 0% interest rates. They did it. I think this is our credit crisis for the cycle, and it's coming at maybe the worst time in the history of America, where we have to refinance the debt at 5x the interest, and it's a lot of fucking debt. And if we have to start bailing out some people, the debt's just going to go way up. 35 trillion. Didn't help that Biden released his budget that called for 40% interest on capital gains, raising taxes on pretty much everybody and every corporation. So that doesn't help. Yeah, I mean, kind of speechless about the potential fallout from this. I mean, yields were way down today, which would normally mean stocks way up, which means the yields down, stocks down. I mean, I'm under the opinion that we've been in a recession for almost a year now, but they changed the definition, so now the market's just pricing in full-on recession. If yields tank, stocks tank, everything tanks, and go fuck yourself. I'm going to wrap it up because I am flipping exhausted. I need a beverage. But the one last thing I'll say is, I mentioned this yesterday, I think. Everything's going to shit, right? Bitcoin's going to shit now too. It's under 20K. What spiked today? Gold. And I keep seeing people on Twitter saying the volatility of Bitcoin is one of the smallest in the market. That's funny shit, isn't it? It was down 3K in a day yesterday. And gold just continues to slowly climb and climb. You know what else is interesting? If you look at, if you do a little bit of research about anything, look how many countries keep buying gold, hoarding gold. They're not buying up Bitcoin. They're buying up gold. So you can laugh at the gold bugs all you want, but when the Swiss bank's buying up gold and China's buying up gold and Russia's buying up gold, UK's buying up gold, we're not buying much gold because, we're dumb. But when you need something tangible and something that stores value, gold will always be there for you, shining at you, telling you how nice you look. Anyways, I hope you're all safe today. This was pretty messed up, but there's also a Fed meeting on Monday. I don't know if that was emergency Fed meeting, but keep an eye out for that. Also, there's no hikes coming. The hike story is done. Not happening. But it's not done because they're winning the fight against inflation. It's done because they just, I think, got a wake-up call, smelling salts, that they're potentially going to break the system. Yet again. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. The Fed does it again. Is the Fed, I don't know if you guys follow Michael Berry online. I'm kind of rambling, so I'll wrap up. But Michael Berry online, I think his name's like Cassandra BC or something. And he always like chirps something, and then he'll delete his Twitter account, and then he'll pop back up and say something else. I think he's one of the best follows. But yesterday he goes, did we did we find our next Enron? And everybody's typing it. Oh, Silvergate, Silicon Valley Bank, all these other banks. I think what he meant was the Fed. The Fed is Enron. Giant Ponzi, cooking books and doing dumb shit and laughing and trying to be the smartest people in the room when they're really the dumbest people in the room. And their stupidity might completely destroy the market and make '08 look like a walk in the park. Absolutely terrifying stuff. Anyways, I'm rambling. I'm tired. I need a nap and a beverage. That'll do it for me. Subscribe. I'll see you Monday. I'm out of town Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but I'll see you Monday and Tuesday for sure. With that, enjoy your weekend. Don't do anything silly, and keep an eye on the headlines because something big's coming down the pipeline for sure. And could it be a Black Monday?